I've taken up distilling in a van because, you know, van life wasn't quirky enough already. In a previous video, I actually bought an Air Still Pro and I set it up to do my first fermentation. And this video is now the results of that through the whole process of that fermentation and then setting up and cleaning the still and doing my first distillation run. Hooch! It's going to be a real deep dive, so I'm going to put some chapters in so that you can skip forward to the bits that you're actually interested in if you don't want to see all of the detail. But if you do hang around, you're going to get to see an awful lot of my bad hair and find out whether I've actually made something good enough to drink. You'll probably get a laugh out of this. It's morning, and look, I wrapped my baby in a blanket to keep it warm overnight. Let's see if it worked. Oh, it's on 20 degrees, and it's about 14 degrees in here, so it has worked. Oh, look, there's bubbles. Something's happening. Let's have a look inside. Oh. It's working. How's she doing today? It was very hot in here yesterday. Oh, so 26 degrees. And she went up to something she shouldn't have. Oh, check that. It's definitely doing something. Wow. Today's an exciting day. The wash is done. So we're going to do whatever the hell the next part is. There's my instructions. It says test the wash using a clean hydrometer to confirm that the fermentation is completed. I'm absolutely 1000% confirmed that it's completed, even though I haven't done that, because there is absolutely no activity going on here. There's no bubbling, and all of the black stuff has gone to the bottom. So I'm convinced that it's done, but I'm not sure if it's just died or whether it's actually completed. So I've been away for a couple of days and the temperatures got very hot. I tried to sort of moderate by leaving the windows and doors open. I wrapped it in a blanket to try and sort of give it some thermal insulation, and hopefully that might have helped. But I've come back and it's completely finished, and so I don't know whether we've actually made what we're meant to make or whether we've killed it. There are some bubbles. Let's test it. Says it should be low 990. It said test the specific gravity, and I think we're at the right thing if I'm reading the thing correctly, so I think we're good. Then it says once fermentation is complete, stir vigorously to remove all the gas. Well, the black stuff had settled, and now I'm going to stir it back up again. I think that's vigorous enough. Once the wash is degassed, add turbo clear part A and let it stand for an hour. Now we add turbo clear parts B, and then we stir it very slowly just at the very top, and then we leave it for 24 hours and it'll be clear in the morning. Well, it'll be clear at lunchtime. Wow, that's already cleared up that much in an hour. That's pretty good stuff. It's an exciting time because it's now time to take all of the stuff that we fermented in our fermenter and put it into jars and get it all ready to distill tomorrow. So I put the stuff in to settle the gunk to the bottom, and it's really cool. Check this out. Look how clear that is. And it looks really weird at the bottom. It's like a layer of gunk. The problem is I should be able to pour it through the tap, but there seems to be gunk around the tap. So I don't think I can actually do that. So what I'm going to do is take it out with a Pyrex jug, which I bought today for this purpose. Ta-da! I have sanitized a bunch of Makona jars, washed them, boiled them, done all that kind of stuff, and now we're going to decant. I need to be really careful because I don't want to stir up all the gunk at the bottom. Oof. Let's try not to spill it, shall we? There might be a trick to not making a complete mess of this. Hooch! There's the thumbnail. This is the alchemiter. So I reckon we might test a tube of it and see if we've got alcohol. Be a shame after all this if we didn't. What's it say? Handle it with care. Place a sample of liquid in a trial jar supplied and lower it in so that it floats freely. Gently spin to release any air bubbles against the glass. When it stops moving, take the reading where the fluid touches the glass. That says 10%. Okay, I'm going to do my best to get the rest of this out without mucking it up too badly, but I'm not going to film because that's a bit hard holding a camera and doing that and pretending I know what I'm doing. So we'll see how it lands at the end. So in the order of the ones that I've taken out, we've got very clear, and then it starts to get cloudy. Now here is, I used a hose to try and siphon it out so I wasn't dipping the jug in, and I think that just stirred up the bottom anyway. And then I just sort of did half a bit more, and then I thought I'll have a go out the tap, chucked away. Oh, let me show you. Because the tap had a whole bunch of the gunk near it, so I opened the tap and took that away. And then tried to get some more, so I think that's plenty to go with for the first time. There's that much more left in the bottoms. I don't know whether we can do anything with that in the morning, but we'll see. So this is cool. All of the little bits that I tried to filter out last night and that were quite cloudy and revolting have all settled. Check it out. So everything's actually quite clear, except for that one, which was horrendous and makes sense. Even this one. So I'm going to consolidate those and that'll give me the final product to start distilling today. But first I have to unpack the air still itself, show you how that works, do a cleanup, and then I can get onto it. I've finished the fermentation and I've decanted all of the fermented stuff into Makona jars ready for distilling, which means I now get to play with my new toy. What? My brother's walking past and laughing at me. I now get to play with my new toy. Get rid of this. This is the thing that does the distillation. Now I can finally open the box. What's inside? Might turn that around that way. First off, instructions, which I'm going to need, definitely. The people at the store I bought it from have given me a dilution guide, so that's going to be really helpful a little bit later. Power cord! That was the least exciting thing that I could pull out. Oh. It had more things in there than I thought. Oh. Weren't there some of those in the other box? These are ceramic boil enhancers. The AirStill Pro can do two types of distilling, reflux and pot stilling, and what determines it is these little heads, spouts. Find out more about those later. I'm going to need to do this. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but my brother has taken this moment to do a whole bunch of drilling on a roof. It's been quiet all morning while I've been getting ready to film this, but he's decided to do that right now. That's brothers for you. Hey Kev!
Yeah.
Did you deliberately take that exact moment to start banging around things on the roof when I just started filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, told you, brothers. And this is, I can't remember the name of this duck. This is a duck who comes to visit me a lot. Hello, duck, duck. All right, the exciting part. Ah! This is what you've all been waiting for. It's so pretty. The AirStill Pro. Oh, oh, oh! I know what that is. This is the 4 shots container. Oh, it's a spare one. Yay! Put that back in the container then. Oh, it's another one. Nobody's mentioned why I would need more than one of those. Maybe they break. Anyway, that was a whole lot less unpacking than the other thing, wasn't it? Instructions say cleaning. We recommend you clean everything before actually doing any distillation. So we're going to go through that right now and get it ready. It's attached. Unplug that bit to start with. Just to show you, you can see that little thing there has an R on it. This is where the alcohol comes out. The R stands for reflux. You have to set this unit up differently depending on whether you're pot stilling or reflux stilling. And I think what we're going to do is reflux still. Pot stilling is for darker alcohols, like a rum or a whiskey. Reflux is for lighter coloured alcohol, like a gin or a vodka. And we're starting with basically a vodka base. I'm not sure if I have to pot still it first and then do the reflux, so we'll come to that shortly. Fill the spare 4 shots collection vial with 15 mils of vinegar and 15 mils of hot water. How am I going to measure 15 mils? Where would I be if I were measuring spoons? So it says do 15 mils of vinegar and water in that, but that's only 15 mils big, so I'll just do half and half. Ah, that's that. So I think we put all of those in there, including this one. That should clean them up. What's next? Add 500 mils of boiling water and 500 mils of white vinegar to the boiler. Oh, that's in here. Boiling water. Going in the microwave. While that's doing that, what do we do next? Fit the tip back on, place the head on the boiler, plug it in. It's pretty easy. And 500 mils of vinegar. Fit the pot still distillation point P onto the system. You finger tighten it, you don't use the spanner. You only use the spanner to undo it. Feels like I've cross-threaded it. Lifty-loosey, righty-tighty. And then make sure that's squished down. Press it down and make sure there's no seal visible around here. Good! Connect the power cord. Plug that in over there. But don't turn it on yet. Remove the 4 shots vial. Remove the column cap. And the botanicals basket. So this is the basket that you put your botanicals in when you're flavouring gins. Put a collection container under there. Slowly pour water down the centre of the column. Reinstall the 4 shots collection vial and botanicals basket and press firmly. It feels like there's going to be a mess. It doesn't say how much water. Oh, there's water coming out. I guess that's enough. Reinstall that. There we go. That's in. Put in the basket. And put that back on. Turn it on at the power. Press the button once to put it in standby mode. It's happening. Press and hold it until it turns purple. Then release to enter pot still mode. The light will pulse purple and I'll hear 2 beeps. Two beeps to confirm that you've entered the pot still mode. The fan and pump will briefly turn on. Yes, I can hear that. Check the boiler light is illuminated. Yes, it is. Once the boiler's reached temperature, it should take about 15 minutes. Your system is now cleaning itself. And now just let it run for an hour. Excellent. It's working, but it's only the cleaning run. It's not the real run yet. So I've done the cleaning with vinegar and water. So that's what's come out from vinegar and water. And now I need to empty that, empty this, wash this out, and then we're in business. So now comes the important part. I'm actually going to distill the stuff that I fermented. We put the boil enhancers in the pot. Oh, don't know what I'm doing. These are little ceramic things that help it not surge too hot, too cold. I don't know how that would work, but apparently it does. Then we need 1 cap of distilling conditioner. Just give that a shake first. So that bottle should last a while. 4 litres of this. So I'm going to need another bottle, because I think this is about 3 litres in these two. Put on the head. Make sure that the seal isn't showing, which it isn't. Make sure you've got the reflux. Yes, the reflux head. Remove the botanical basket. And make sure that those are down there, which they are. Caps on. Connect that plug. Connect the power plug. And then I think we just turn it on. Collection jar. I think we might just move that around a bit. Press the button. White means it's on. And we're on! That's the pump, that's the fan, test proving that it's working. Red light's on. It's started. Dun-da-da, we're distilling. It should take 60 to 90 minutes for it to heat up, and then a long time to turn off. Turns itself off automatically. I'm a distiller. Well, maybe I'm not until something comes out of there. 4 shots are happening. Oh, there it is. The very first drips of my very first distillation. It's going to have a little while before it fills that up. It's working! It just stopped. So this is my first Van Hooch. Now we'll test it for alcohol, see how strong it is. We got right on 500 mils. And it's testing it with 89%. It works! I've just finished the second run of the last 2 litres of my first fermentation, and it's gone through the distiller, and I've got 87% alcohol in just over 500 mils. So now I need to dilute that down and turn it into gin or whiskey. I've got 500 mils at about 87%. So if I want to water that down to about 40%, I have to add about 600 mils. There's a whole calculating thing going on. I've got a form that tells me how to do it. So let's dilute the 87% alcohol. Another 100 mils. Oh shit, I've realised I forgot a step. Now I've got to filter that. Oops. Giving it a good stir, and then we'll test it again. No, I'm going to have to put it in the jar. 1 minute. So bump this a few times to get rid of the bubbles. It's just above 40, so it'll need a splash more water. So I've got my 500 mils and I've watered it down with about 600 mils of water to make it about 40% ABV, or alcohol by volume. And now I need to filter it. So we've got this filter bucket. This is a little carbon filter, so I've wet that as per the instructions. We pop that in there, and then we pour it in. And try not to spill it. Is it all going to fit? Oh God, it's going to be close. Can't walk around very much because it's right at the very top. I don't want the bus to shake and spill it, but see how long it takes to drip through. There are some floaty things to filter out, so this is good. Then I'm going to turn it into gin. So I made a previous video where I set up the original fermentation. I'll put a card up here for you so you can go back to watch that if you've missed it. And in that video, I asked you guys if you wanted me to make a gin or a whiskey. And because I got about a bunch of results that went either way, basically I've decided to go both, plus a little surprise on the end. So this is a gin, this is a whiskey, and this is an Irish cream, like a Bailey's. I can tell you that making stuff in this process can be as simple or as complicated as you want, and I can tell you that I am probably going to go down the full complicated way because I have really enjoyed doing this. So if this is a video that you kind of like the look of, then let me know, because I can make more videos about the distilling if you want to see it, but it's not really my normal Vanlife stuff, is it? So let me know what you want me to do. As far as simple and complicated is concerned, basically what we've started with is we've made a sugar wash. So it's sugar, yeast, water, and let it sit until all the yeast creates the alcohol and then distill. Then what you can do is you can flavour that neutral spirit. They call it a neutral spirit, kind of like a vodka, but quite a neutral spirit. You can buy essences like this to stick into that neutral spirit to flavour it. So it's a little bit like adding cordial, which makes it very simple. And that's exactly what happened with this Irish cream. I've made an Irish cream like that. Now, I tried out the dry gin and I tried out the smoky whiskey, but I've also gone down a little bit extra down the path and I've bought these kits. Now, the thing is with a gin is that there are tons of different flavours. It's not a standard flavour like an Irish cream. And this little kit has a bunch of these bottles in it, and it gives you the opportunity to effectively make the flavours that you like. So this kit comes with a whole lot of different flavours that you can mix in, and this little recipe book gives you a bunch of choices to make. And because I thought that was such a cool idea, and my thinking about it is that if you use these, you can test different stuff out. You'll learn what you like and what you don't, and how different flavours affect it. So it's like going down a whole wine tasting course, except for gin. And then because I got all excited about it, then I bought the whiskey one. So out of these two kits, I've made a dark berry gin, and out of the whiskey kit, I've made a spicy lemon malt whiskey. So let's see how they are. This is the berry gin. It definitely tastes like gin. So it's really fascinating. One of the things that you do is you put glycerin in, which gives it a different feel than if you're just drinking the neutral spirit. So it's a different feel in your mouth. And there's definitely a berry flavour coming in that. These are all about 40% alcohol by volume, by the way. Like, that's really pleasant. I can totally see that mixed with a little bit of tonic and sitting outside in the sun watching the ducks go past. That's really good. This is the spicy lemon and malt. And they give you little flavour profiles. A whiskey-style flavoured drink that has spicy, lemony and malty notes, no kidding, with charred wood undertones, giving it a soft, buttery, rounded flavour that lingers. A medium amber colour with sweetish spices warming on the palate. It exhibits pleasant maltiness with toasted wood and hints of vanilla. Finishes smooth and gentle. Like, I'm never going to do a review like that, but what I really like about this idea is that reading that and tasting this means I'm going to hopefully try and understand what they're talking about, and therefore I'm going to start to learn what flavours I want in a whiskey. Let's give it a go. Oh yeah, okay, that is a little lemony, which I would never have expected. When I did this trip to Scotland, I don't think there was anything lemony going on there. I would agree with the soft and buttery and rounded tones. It's not a smash you in the face, claw all the way down kind of a situation. It's really pleasant. Okay. And now, Irish cream. So I do like a Baileys. I've made this basically for my family because they really love a Baileys, and I like one, but I don't usually drink a lot. What I have found out is it's not as alcoholic as I thought. So this is actually quite an alcoholic one because I've used 40%, whereas I think Baileys itself is normally about 17. So if you come around and have one, just be a little careful. It's really chocolatey. And it feels much thicker. What was interesting when I bought this, they said there was another packet of something that you could buy that could make it sort of creamier and thicker. I don't think we need that at all. I think this is perfect. It's really delicious. So, you know what? I think this is awesome. I think this is going to be a little like editing videos where there's always going to be so much to learn that you can just continue to go down this rabbit hole. I think it's going to be a really cool thing to explore. I think there are a lot of options available of all the different flavours. I have to tell you, one of the things that made me laugh is one of the vodka flavours that you can get. And I could never understand this because isn't vodka just meant to be not taste like anything? But then there's vodka flavouring. So it's like, well, I don't really understand that. One of them, obviously they can't call them Baileys. They'll call it an Irish cream, or they're calling it funny names around it. So there's a Kahlua one which is called Cafe. There's one that is meant to taste like Grey Goose vodka, but they've called it canard, which is French for duck. And I just think that's hilarious. I think there's going to be a ton to learn. I think this is going to be really interesting, and I'm going to be very keen after my trip to Scotland to actually start looking at fermenting grain and doing all the other things that you do rather than just the sugar wash to make the wash in the first place. So it's a fascinating game. I'm really enjoying it. If you want me to do more videos about this, then, let me know, because it's not the normal Vanlife thing, but I think it's interesting. And it's something I can do in a van. So, win-win. And because all of this delving into this distilling was really inspired a long time ago, but over the years, but reignited just recently by my trip to Scotland with my friend Beck, then go and watch my Scotland videos and let me know if you like those too. I might just finish this up and have a little lie down, I think. It's definitely gin. Definitely tastes like gin. It's good. I'm really pleased.